Looks like Global is still getting Topo as the August Dokkan Fest, but should you summon? How's it, everybody? Celtic Link here. We're back for another Dokkan battle video. In today's video, we are taking a look at the Dokkan Festival Fizz Topo. He will be releasing here on Global Dokkan in less than 24 hours. We have him releasing at 8:30 p.m. on Monday, August 12th on Hawaii Standard Time. So in this video, we're going to go ahead and talk about what this guy is doing. We're going to take a look at whether or not you should summon. As always, we will go based on our three major considerations, right? Number one, how good is the unit? Number two, how good is their banner? And number three, considerations for what lies ahead. After all, right, it's never just as simple as saying yes or no. So let's start with the unit itself. Is he worthy of a summon, right? So in his base form, Topo is Special Pose or Tournament Participants, category Key 3, HP attack and defense 170%. He gives an additional 30% to characters who are on the Defenders of Justice, Space Traveling Warriors, or Final Trump Card category. His super attack effect will greatly raise his attack and defense for the turn. On his passive, he will have an entrance animation that can be activated once only. It reduces damage received by 11% for the rest of battle, and guards all attacks for 3 turns from his entry turn when there are 2 or more Special Pose allies or Defenders of Justice allies on the team. He has an additional 200% attack and defense plus an additional attack 150% when performing a super attack. He reduces damage received by 20% on top of that 11, so that's 31%, and changes int key spheres to rainbow key spheres when HP is 50% or more. He gives Special Pose or Defenders of Justice allies attack and defense 30% and key 1, and he gets an additional defense 50% within the same turn after receiving an attack, plus an additional 200% and guards all attacks as the first attacker in the turn, right? So 30% damage reduction and guard in slot 1. It's not too terrible. He also has an additional attack and defense 100% when performing a super attack as the second or third attacker in the turn. He doesn't have an active skill that can be activated when there is another Special Pose or Defenders of Justice category ally attacking in the same turn, starting from the 4th turn from the start of battle, or from the 6th turn from the start of battle when none of the other conditions are met. That activation condition will simply transform him into the God of Destruction Topo, where now he is massively raising his attack and raising his defense for the turn. When in God of Destruction, he is getting key 3, attack and defense 300%, and an additional attack 250% when attacking. He gets an additional defense 100% when receiving an attack, and he changes int key spheres to rainbow key spheres. He does guard all attacks and reduces damage received by 80% with each attack, and with each attack received, he loses 8% damage reduction, no more than up to 60. So by the end of it, he'll still have 20% damage reduction on top of guard. He also nullifies Key Blast super attacks directed at the character for 1 turn from his entry turn. Starting from the next attacking turn, it'll be a 50% chance to nullify those Key Blasts. So honestly, as a character, he is extremely good. He's arguably one of the best TURs released in Dokkan this year, right? I don't quite put him above, say, Super Saiyan Vegeta, but I think he's definitely there, right? And I only say that because, right, the rest of his team is getting majorly buffed as we proceed throughout the rest of this year, right? We already got the LR Tech Jiren EZA, right? There's a good chance that AGL Jiren is probably coming sometime soon as well, right? And we'll get more into that in a minute, right? So, I mean, already he's got 2 of extremely powerful units, specifically to Universe 11, that fulfill his Special Pose or Defenders of Justice condition that he needs for his base form. So already you've got that. Add on to that, right, JP just got the new Peppy Gal Chocolate, and she's Universe 11 Defenders of Justice special pose, she will fulfill that category for him as well. Global also, right, if we pull up the main page here, we can see that Global will also be getting the, we'll let that load. Global will also be getting the EZA for Fizz Ribrianne and the Int Topo, right? So there we go. 2 more things to fulfill this category. Now, this does sound kind of crazy that I would bring all of this up, right? And these are just extra units to add on to this team, but they make his team quite powerful, right? What he is doing combined with, you know, all of these other characters, right? AGL Margarita is also getting her EZA, giving 70% support to guys like Topo, guys like Jiren, combined with AGL Jiren's support, right? You're talking about powerful units. Some of the few teams in the game that can easily break through the Goku and Frieza stage is damage reduction, right? For those that don't know, right, the final stage of the current Supreme Battle Spectacle on Global Dokkan, right, it should be coming here soon, will have a Goku and Frieza who have a 15 million damage barrier, right? And so you need teams that can clear this. Topo, combined with all the supports he's giving and all the supports his characters on his team are giving, right, it makes him, I would say, almost necessary for that fight, right? If you're not running superheroes, especially when you consider there is actually a mission in game to clear this with the Universe 11 team. So just throwing that out there. It also helps he does, you know, with tournament participants, right? He does have access to AGL UI Goku, Tech UI Goku. He has access to Blue Evolution Vegeta, right? He does have access to other powerful hitters aside from, you know, say AGL Jiren, right? For when he comes. So I would say personally that makes the unit good. I would almost say that makes him worthy of a summon, right? If you put 30 stones into this banner because there's discounts and you pulled him, right, you're not at a loss there. I wouldn't go deep for him, but you're definitely not at a loss for summon him. But that is the unit, and of course we know that these units don't exist alone. Right, here we go. It just updated. Oh, Dokkan Info has not updated the EZAs. Okay, well, that's interesting. Okay, well, there are EZAs coming. So, yeah, so he's not alone, right? He comes with him on a banner. So we want to pull that up. Where's the banner for Topo here? Here it is. Okay, so we have Topo's banner here, right? This was released in April on JB Togan, and given that they didn't move the androids up to fit UI Goku's banner and instead put Rose on there, I think it's a pretty high likelihood that they'll still be there, which means I don't foresee any changes to Topo's banner. This is going to be Topo's banner, right? You'll have the Gammas, which, I mean, if you didn't have them coming into the 9th anniversary, that's not terrible, right? You have Super Trunks, right? Our GOAT, still good, still clearing content even now, right? Android's got a huge buff at the tail end of the anniversary, especially if you're someone who picked up Tech UI Goku. But I would have to say, right, I mean, unless you have the full teams to fill out these units, right? There's not a lot there's not a whole lot going on the banner, right? Kato Prisha, the banner unit is okay, right? They're nothing special, right? They're fun, they're very gimmicky, but you know, it's nothing too crazy. They aren't like crazy Golden Frieza banner unit, right? They're just kind of there. The androids, like I said, really, really good now that Tech UI has and the 6-year EZAs have come out. Super Trunks still on some of the best teams, can be rocked with Tech Vegeta, right? There is value there. Kale has definitely seen better days, even with the buffs to like the Universe 6 EZAs or STR Kefla EZA. It just wasn't enough to really bring her that forward, right? Just it could still be good, but I mean, it definitely missed her window, is what I'll say there. The Gammas, huge resurgence now that we've got their now that we've got their special equips from the anniversary. So, right, if you pulled the into LR Gammas, you know, there's a lot of value to be had if you didn't have these guys. So, all in all, unless the banner has discounts, and we'll talk more about that in a minute, but unless it has discounts, I don't know that I can give the banner my full thumbs up. And that's simply because, yes, some of these extra TURs plus Toppo are good, right? But I don't think Toppo alone carries this banner, unfortunately, as good as he is, right? There are better TURs coming in the near future. Consider that the worldwide banners coming up are going to return AGL Goku and Int Boo, as well as the Halloween banner, which could possibly return Tech Saiyan Vegeta, along with a lot of these characters that are here as well. Super Trunks, the androids, they'll probably be on that banner anyways, the Halloween banner at the end of October. So, I mean, you're not gaining much by summoning on this banner even if you didn't already have these, right? So definitely a no-go on the banner. So we've got one for the unit and none for the banner. So all that leaves is to look at what lies ahead. Now, know that this is the August Dokkan Fest, which means the next celebration following this is going to be the worldwide celebration at the end of the year, at the end of the month, right? Last year, this was the Beyond Space and Time campaign. Who knows what it's going to be? We should start seeing the teasers here very, very soon, but right, we know that like last year's had the Dokkan Festival Part 1 and the Carnivals Part 2. We could see like Anniversary where it's the Dokkan Fest Carnival format where one Dokkan Fest, one Carnival banner. So knowing that these are ahead, right, we're looking at some pretty powerful things coming forward if we compare the releases of last year, right? These guys are going to be close to, if not some of them better than the Anniversary units, right? We think of like Future Gohan and the AGL Blues and Zamasu, right? Honestly, they were probably better. I mean, even Trunks to a degree, depending on how you ran him, right? Were better than the Anniversary units, except for maybe the GT duo, right? I think GT, they were at least better than the Z duo, I would say, depending on how you ran them. So, I mean, on the level of 9th Anniversary is good. Better is even better. So, do you really want to be spending stones on Toppo's banner here if it means giving up a possible summon on one of these Carnival banners or Dokkan Fest banners that could be coming? Who knows, right? This could be GT theme. It could be a revisit of Namek Saga theme. LR Namek Goku and Full Power Frieza are due up for an EZA after all, so who knows what we could be seeing, but you definitely don't want to be spending stones on Toppo if that's what it means, right? Also consider that Cell Max, we've kind of already seen these two banners, but Cell Max and Jiren are coming forward soon. And honestly, right, like for the Universe 11 mission, right, if you've got the sub EZAs, I'd almost argue that getting Jiren is probably better for you than getting Toppo, especially because Jiren is a general Universal Survival Saga lead. And I think he's got a second lead. I think it's Universe 11, I think. I gotta actually, let's double check here, actually. There we go. Okay. Yeah, Universe 11 and Universal Survival Slayer. That's what I thought. Yeah, so, I mean, he's definitely one you want to, I would almost prioritize him if you were to summon, right? Like, let's say Toppo comes tomorrow and then Jiren comes next week. I really hope they don't do that, but if they did, you know, I would almost argue that Jiren is more worth it than Toppo because Jiren will be less likely to return less often. So consider that, right, that for what lies ahead, there are better options in the future, even just for Toppo's lead, right? Like if you picked up Jiren, you could run a friend Toppo, right? If that's what you wanted to do. Although running two Jirens is probably going to benefit you way more anyways. But I mean, you could do that if you really wanted to use Toppo. So I would have to say, knowing what lies ahead, knowing that worldwide is so close and Jiren and or Cell Max are really, really close, I can't really give it a thumbs up there for what lies ahead either. So 2 no-goes on summoning due to what lies ahead and due to Toppo's banner just not quite being up to snuff, which is to be expected for the August Dokkan Fest. And then that's 1 for the summon on Toppo's banner. So my overall recommendation after considering all of those factors is this guy's probably a big fat skip, but we knew that coming in from the beginning of this, didn't we? But I wanted to make sure, as I always do, we actually sit down and give him a fair shake, right? That's, you know, it wouldn't be doing the character justice if we didn't, you know? But I will say this. It is worthy of note that, if we can find it here, he will have tickets, right? So we will be getting weekend Dokkan Festivals tickets for him. If you've logged in already, you've probably seen these tickets. We will be getting weekend Dokkan Festival tickets where you will be able to summon for him on the weekends. So let it be known, I do believe these are non-GSSRs. At least I think they were on JP. Who knows if they will be on... if they will be on global, I doubt it, but it is there. So if you want to try for him that way, I would, you know, obviously do that. If you're pay to play, low to play, obviously there will be paid tickets, so you can use those, and they'll run until the 3rd of September. So right as we're entering into the worldwide celebration. So just to throw all of that out there, right? If you're pay to play, low to play, there are some options. You know, maybe do your tickets and then just dip. They're probably going to be guaranteed featured discounts. August Dokkan Fest almost always has a guaranteed featured step up, so maybe if you know, if you're swimming in stones right now, more than 1,000, maybe just do the step ups and then call it and save from there, I would say personally. But otherwise, this is one of the few banners that I would recommend a big old fat skip. Alright, do not summon on this banner, save for worldwide, or better yet, save for AGL Cheerin. So guys, that is it for the video. If you liked the video, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe to the channel if you have not already. And in the comments down below, let us know, do you plan on dipping into Toppo's banner? What if there's discounts? Do you plan on doing the tickets? Let us know in the comments down below. Otherwise, guys, as always, thanks for watching, and aloha.